Hello, hi, hello. Oh no, it's the wrong browser. Hold on. Um, this one? Yeah. Will it update? Yeah. New Boku no Hero Academia? Hell yeah. Okay, the last one ended very shockingly and dramatically as Kachan, the longest thing that comes close to a friend Deku has had, his childhood bully turned rival, turned confidant, turned perhaps closest ally, leaps in front of this mysterious attack being launched by All for One, sacrificing himself, significantly sacrificing himself in order to keep Deku alive. Yeah, this is one that, yeah, that was his rising chapter, the one titled Bakugao Rising, which is a pretty significant moment. This isn't gonna just get recovery girled. This isn't just gonna get laughed off. This isn't gonna be inconsequential by any stretch. This is a major sacrifice and a major plot development. And what's gonna happen next? Stop trying to win this on your own. And All for One is really seemingly at its limit. Its body is like spasming. All of the skin has been burnt off. It's just this squirming mass of quirks now. So it's about to fall, rising up on a jet of fire, having grabbed his father already. Todoroki snags him. Already it looks like All for One is regenerating. It seems like hair is growing back on its head. This battle today, so much blood spilled for no good reason. That last bit being the most pointless of it all. Ooh. Yeah, so basically he's saying you guys should have just given up. But if you had just given up, things would have gone a lot more peacefully. There would have been a lot less death. And here, Deku, in hearing that, has a brief, haunting montage of Eraserhead and Gran Torino and Dragon Lady there, Ryu something, all being pushed to the death's door. I really like this paneling, the jaggedness of it, the way that like these panels kind of exist within a panel itself. Like you can see there's still a hard right angle border along the bottom of it, interfering with Deku's mind, kind of really showing just how jarring and like intrusive these visions are, that he can't help but see their faces. When you use this power out of anger, it'll really start working for you. What really matters is controlling your heart. Okay, that seems to imply that kind of all the brakes are off, all the fetters are loosened. But yeah, calling Kachan's sacrifice there pointless, I think, has really made something snap within Deku. Like, look at his face. I was saying that just last chapter that they're doing an amazing job showing that whenever Deku pushes himself to some new limit, really reflecting that in the art, really reflecting that in how he's depicted, showing him like more and more unbound, deranged, at the limits of his sanity. And they've done it again, chapter after chapter. They've pushed it in this extreme direction. Oh boy, now we got a two-page spread. Oh my gosh. What is this? What is this creature? Jeez, biting at these attacks. These attacks that easily pierce through Bakugao wearing his battle gear. Deku is now just ripping to shreds with his bare hands and biting chunks of it off. This is like a feralism we have yet to see. He's like crying, and yet his eyes are like on fire as well. This is somewhat reminiscent of when he first unlocked the Black Vine's power, and went into that like very altered state where he had to kind of get hugged out of it. That he'd almost fully lost conscious and confusing battle against the mind control man and stuff. That he had been tricked, that he had lost himself. Now it's all happening naturally. Now it's all happening just overflowing from within himself. But he's still reached that state of like total inconsolable rampage. And again, I can't get over how well the art depicts this. Just the look at his eyes with the tears flowing out as well. And I love the idea of him biting, because he's never done that before, right? It's always been an escalation of reasonable attacks, kicks and flicks and punches and stomps and whatever. But now it is so unbound that he's just biting away at his one for all empowered jaws. And All for One it looks genuinely shocked by this. Take it back. Ooh, man, this is Yuri. We've talked a lot before about these like extreme close-ups of Shigaraki where the art gets like super detailed and creepy and kind of looks like those horror books that you get as a kid. You know, spooky stories to tell in the dark and stuff. It has that really unsettling aura to it. And now they've taken it to the next level with the creepy eyeless face of All for One ripping through Shigaraki's face. What does it mean? How is he literally moving his body, which is in like super ultra max security, to Tomura's body? Did he actually somehow physically do that? Or is it a side effect of Tomura being so empowered by All for One, having all of these quirks crammed into him, that he's now like mutated, and through that like succession lineage thing, the mind, the consciousness is being transferred over into this rapidly mutating body? Something. I don't know what's going on exactly, but it's not good. It is not good for our heroes, I think, to have this guy back in power. Okay, meanwhile, oh yeah, that's right. Freaking Gigantomachia is just on a non-stop crazy taxi ride with the entire League of Villains on his back, or a lot of the League of Villains on his back. Just smashing through stuff, you know. This really tall vertical panel that's just chaos, like it's just buildings flying around, and at the top there's like a train flying around. That I think is well done. That's a good example of like using a limitation of your panel to your advantage. That like at first maybe your instinct is to depict a scene like this, you need like a 2-page spread or something just to capture the magnitude of what's happening. But here, very wisely, I think they've chosen this very tight sliver, as if you yourself are like evacuating, and you can only just glimpse the magnitude of what's happening. You just get this flash that in any column of space and time, there's this much chaos, this much destruction. It's pretty unnerving, pretty wild. So nothing's ever even there. He's destroying everything. Ooh. So we cut to this to see kind of another side of what's going on. It's kind of interesting because like nothing is being explained to us, but we're getting all of these clues from like sources that are also kind of confusing to us. Why is it that Gigantomachia has this supernatural ability to sense All for One? Is that a quirk? What the heck is he in the first place? Is he like a Nomu? He was built or something? What level of intelligence does he really have? Okay. Meanwhile, the evacuation efforts. Heroes will proceed to intercept the giant villain. Good luck. Who's fighting Shigaraki? Don't know the whole situation. Yeah, that's true. They don't know about this whole Gigantomachia thing, do they? But like, what could they do? They have their hands pretty full as is. Okay, we got some all-stars here. Got one of the big three. You can make those little spirally things. We got Ida. Haven't seen Ida in action in a while. Iruka. Asui. You know, bird and bug talking man whose name eludes me. And from Class B, the manga sound effects guy. I really like that guy. I really want to see more what the hell that crazy quirk can do. Ah, jeez. Feels like nothing has gotten better. Ever since then, it's like the days are longer and the shadows have grown. Oh man, this is quite a touching moment that in the midst of two gigantic climactic battles, and kind of some more too, still in the hospital and stuff people are fighting, they take an entire page to just kind of show Iruka how Iruka's feeling. Ever since then, way back in Universal Studios Japan, you can see the training arc, the battle of All Might versus All for One. Yeah, and I don't know. It's like taking a moment, not in a way that's like overstated, not in a way that feels too on the nose or too like timely or whatever, but it's like a way that the feeling of these kids can kind of resonate with our own situation. Like we've been going through a hellish year, for sure, an année terrible, if you will, and they're not going to make a manga about that. But when you think about how much these kids have suffered, just horrible event after horrible event, trial and tribulation and crisis and terrorist attack and death and everything, it's like, yeah, it's good to remember that they have been suffering as we have been suffering. Guys. Okay, what's going on? What is Deku doing? What is this attack? Looks like All for One's getting him. Oh, so this is it. This is the quirk extraction method. We had been speculating on this before, exactly what needs to happen. It wasn't clear to me if it was something that they needed to haul him off to like a lab, get him in a vat, start extracting one for all, or if it really is just as simple as touching him. And I think that's what we've seen. Midoriya got too aggro, Deku got too close, he closed the gap, and now got grabbed. Oh man. What's gonna happen? There's no way it's gonna go through like this. Someone's gonna be able to save him, right? Oh, okay. As One for All is ripped from his body, Deku returns to the place where all of the previous inheritors kind of existed in some vague aftermath, beyond death, unreal space. This place. Stay in there. Him. So don't be like that, Tomura. Besides, I clearly had to lend you my strength. You burned to cinders, and even after surviving that, you would have plummeted to your death. So this is a conversation happening in Tomura's brain. I guess it's not the place where the other One for All inheritors live. It's like a different kind of magical place that exists during this quirk transference thing. They're able to kind of glimpse inside of each other's quirk worlds. Okay. Shut up already. It's like I said, Master. I'm running the show now. This is my dream. Okay, Deku reaches out, but collapses. Can't move in this world yet. Oh, I recognize those gloves. It's, what's her name? Nanachi? Is that Nanachi? That's the Made in Abyss bunny. Can't move in this world yet. So let us handle this. Yeah, there she is. Okay. Whew, okay. Alright, okay, interesting. So now the battle will continue here? She'll be fighting for her son's life, her son's agency, her son's virtue. Is Tomura gonna end up being kind of redeemed? That's hard to imagine, but maybe something where he makes some sort of heroic sacrifice. after seeing the errors of his master's ways, seeing that he's not going to get what he was promised. Okay, okay, okay. Let us. So the other inheritors are here as well. It's like both of these worlds. So maybe we'll get to see more of those action. Maybe we'll get to see what's up with the fourth inheritor. The mystery there, that kind of vague, sinister feeling that Bakugo had that All Might confirmed. Someone pointed out in the comments, and I had actually thought of this too, I just forgot to mention it, the association of she and death. Of course, she being a homonym for both homophone for both for and death in Japanese and in Chinese as well. And maybe Korean? I don't know. But it being another sort of ominous thing, sort of like the number 13 in English culture. All right, well, let's see. Let's see what happens next week. It's getting crazy. Getting very crazy.